Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. Now, in 1989, John Candy had Who's Harry Crumb and Uncle Buck. And as I'm doing the John Candy marathon, before this, there's the Who's Harry Crumb review. After this, I'm going to review Uncle Buck. But this is one no one remembers, and it makes sense why, because at the end of the day, it's pretty forgettable. At best, a mediocre time waster. And I didn't know what to call this film because it's under a different title, at least 3 titles. Speed Zone, Cannonball Fever, and yes, Cannonball Run 3. For those who did not know there was a Cannonball Run 3, technically this is it. And in fact, in other countries it is called Cannonball Run 3. And you have Jamie Farr, who's the Sheik in the first 2 movies. He's in this movie as that character in a couple scenes at the beginning of the film. And they mention how it is a cannonball run, as in a bunch of people, racers and cars, go from sea to shining sea in this race. I know in the trivia it was mentioned that Burt Reynolds was offered a shitload of money and they said no. Burt Reynolds wanted to go on to do more dramatic work and be taken more seriously as an actor. And so in this film you have John Candy, you have Donna Dixon, who I believe was the wife of Dan Aykroyd. She was in, I want to say in Dr. Detroit, and I believe she's the dream woman that Garth sees in Wayne's World. Dreamer. Sorry, I got that song stuck in my head. I stopped in the middle of it because this is now a Wayne's World review. But Donna Dixon, you have, she's riding with John Candy. Eugene Levy he's at the very beginning of the film and at the end of the film. You have a small cameo by Lee Van Cleef, who is teaching a kid how to skip stones, and then this car skips along the pond of the water, which I will admit looked kind of cool. I mean, unrealistic, yeah, but it looked cool how it was done. You see Brooke Shields has a cameo. The runner, Carl Lewis has a cameo. Okay, before I get into the cameos, you have John Candy, Donnie Dixon as one group of racers. You have Matt Frewer from Matt's Headroom, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Taking of Beverly Hills, Lawnmower Man 2. He's a guy who owes money, and Joe Flaherty is a guy who's supposed to kill him, but they make a deal, and if Matt Frewer wins the race, he'll give some of the money back. Half the money he'll give back to what he's owed, the other half he'll split with the other guy, Joe Flaherty. And those two guys try to fuck with the other racers, try to stop them so that they can win. For example, there's this boat that's going to take some cars across water, and they knock out the guy and break the equipment. Or Matt Frewer does this thing where he writes down the license plates and then he calls on the phone and says, oh yeah, this car was stolen, so that those cars can be stopped. So John Candy, Donna Dixon, you have Matt Frewer, Joe Flaherty. You have Tim Matheson, who's part of a news crew and a news van who's covering it, then ultimately decides to join the race. You have 2 women. One of them is Melody Anderson from the 1980 Flash Gordon, among other films. And I think it's Belafonte, Shari Belafonte, as the other one. And they're 2 women that are very knowledgeable on equipment. For example, they can make the lights turn green if they want to. Yeah, Shari Belafonte. And like I said, the other was Melody Anderson. And yeah, that's right. Not only was she in Flash Gordon, she was in Firewalker with Chuck Norris. That is the same woman, that's right. Favorite Chuck Norris film of mine. So you have John Candy, Donna Dixon, you have Matt Frewer, Joe Flaherty, you have Melody Anderson and Shari Belafonte. Sorry for stuttering shit. You have What was the other one? Tim Matheson's news crew, news van. Oh, you have the Smothers brothers, who are rich guys who compete. At the end, they try to take a plane, and one of the few big set pieces, like the plane, screws up and it goes on the highway on the interstate, and the wings get broken, and the Smothers brothers pay the pilot to drive the plane to where they need to go. And you have this one, I forget the actor's name, there's no one I'd recognize, but like these two guys in this Lamborghini. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I mean, it definitely does not have the star power of the other Cannonball Run films. I mean, the biggest name is John Candy, and at times it doesn't even seem like John Candy is the lead of the film, because there are many moments where it's like you don't see John Candy. It's a bit too far in between that John Candy pops up, and even then, he's not given much to do comedy-wise. It's just that he's the guy who thinks Donna Dixon's hot. There's just one more where he's being chased by the semi, a little bit car chase here and there, but nothing much for John Candy's talent. Kind of a waste of his talent, honestly. Peter Boyle, he's the police chief who's chasing after them. There's a guy driving the Lamborghini at the beginning of the film, and it's the one that does that skip along the pond that Lee Van Cleef and the kid are watching. That's actually John Schneider, but then he disappears, doesn't come back in the film. He's just that little cameo near the beginning. Alyssa Milano has a little cameo. Richard Petty, NASCAR racer as himself. So, I mean, as you can see, it's not like a big star-studded cast. Like, you got Roger Moore, and you got Frank Sinatra, and Dean Martin, and Burt Reynolds, and Jackie Chan, to, okay, John Candy, but then the Smothers brothers, and Donna Dixon, and fucking Matt Frewer. I like Matt Frewer, but it's not really a big star. I know critics hated it. It bombed badly. It only made $3 million total. It was nominated for Worst Picture and Worst Director at the Razzies. Yeah, when it was released on VHS, it was Speed Zone. In Japan and other places, it was called Cannonball Run 3. I think one problem is the guy you got to direct it. You got a guy, Jim Drake, to direct it. Now, Jim Drake, I liked Police Academy 4. He did that. Yeah, I would say Police Academy 4 is better than this movie. He did CBS All in the Family, Good Times, did a lot of TV work. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Really? I mean, and if you heard that, fucking cats are fighting. Even they're pissed off I'm talking about the film. But I'm not pissed off at the movie. This is why it's not a rant. I can't say I hate the film. Because it's one of those that it was... I was curious about it. It was for free on YouTube. Someone uploaded the film. I don't even know if it has a DVD release. If it does, I don't even know. And if it's not, it's because it's not that memorable of a movie. It's not that memorable of a film. It's the stunt work is a big letdown compared to the first two Cannonball Run films, and needed a guy like Hal Needham to direct it, who really knows how... Hal Needham knows how to wreck shit with cars. I mean, whether it be that or Hooper or Burt Reynolds or other films, he knows how to do stunt work. You need a guy like that. You get few and far in between. Other than that, it's kind of just typical boring little car racing, and like these little skits that weren't really funny. They're just that kind of reaction. And it felt like this was a lower budgeted flick too, compared to the first two. So it's like a low budget version of Cannonball Run with not that again star-studded of a cast compared to the first two. Granted, at least there's no dumb DeLuise, which was one thing I did not care for. I mean, I haven't reviewed the Cannonball Run films, maybe one day, but I did not like Dumb DeLuise. Da 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 da. At least he was annoying as shit, and I like Dumb DeLuise, but not in that. Like, take him out, and I'm glad he's not in this one. But I mean, the beginning of the film, the cops are chasing Lamborghini, and like I said, you have the Levy and Cleef teaching a kid how to skip stones. The Lamborghini skips the car like a stone, which again I thought was one of the few little set pieces that looked cool. And you found out John Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard. He even has a Confederate flag on his suit like the Dukes of Hazzard, like the General Lee Carr had, and he disappears. A bunch of racers are getting ready for the Cannonball Run. Peter Boyle has the cop raid the place, a bunch of cops. A lot of the racers get arrested, so they need new drivers. So you have Eugene Levy, who has John Candy take his car. And the opening scene with John Candy, he's working like at valet, and Eugene Levy steers the shit out of him with a bullhorn. And John Candy in the building, he's then kind of topple a bit over. And then John Candy steers the shit out of Eugene Levy by driving his car crazy to park it. And he's like, nope, I can't park it. So it shows that John Candy can drive. And like I said, John Candy's going to drive Eugene Levy's car with this woman that Eugene Levy was seeing, Donna Dixon. And even though Eugene Levy's married, he's cheating on his wife with this woman. And this woman, Donna Dixon, like, wants to be an actress or such. And Donna Dixon, I thought was awful. I thought she was terrible. She kind of has the little, oh, I think John Candy's name was Charlie. She's like, oh, Charlie. Oh, Charlie, can you please help me? Oh, Charlie. Oh, God, Donna Dixon, like, if you had two brain cells, one would die from loneliness. Maybe not in real life. I'm just talking about her character. I thought she was pretty annoying. And, like I said, Matt Frewer owes a debt, and then he and Joe Flaherty, the guy who was trying to kill him, decide to work together. Smothers brothers, they don't cheat by going on a plane, then their wings fucked up, so hey, drive the plane. Some bits with Melody Anderson and Miss Belafonte dealing with a little electronics. As you see, I'm kind of stuttering through this because I just saw the film. I'm trying to remember what the fuck I saw. That's what I mean. It's a very forgettable movie. It's, by all rights and purposes, this should be a rant, but if I put rant in the title and I'm not yelling, I think it would disappoint some of people subscribe to me. It's like, where's the yelling? I'm like, well, it's not yell-worthy, rant-worthy, but it's just, it's on YouTube for free. If you like the first two Cannonball Run films and you're curious to, wait, there was a Cannonball Run 3? And if you're a big John Candy film like I am, sure, you can give it a look. Doesn't mean you'll like it. It's fairly forgettable stunt work. The plane bit, the car skipping like a stone bit. One bit I thought was kind of humorous, but you've seen this in many other films. But one of the Smothers brothers on the plane, he's talked to a French guy. I guess just the way the French guy said this, like the guy said it very straightforward and very funny. Like low deadpan, low key. You would like my penis? And one of the Smothers brothers like, what? You would like my penis? No, I mean, I'm married. Yeah, I got 2 kids. You would like my penis? Now listen, buddy, I don't play that way. And then he has a bag of peanuts. Oh, peanuts! Okay, I thought you meant something else. Again, you've seen that other films. I mean, Ace Ventura, I think the second film, where the stewardess says peanuts, and then Jim Carrey goes, right here. Got one right here, thank you. No, peanuts. Oh, okay. So, I mean, you've heard that before, but the way the Smothers Brothers guy played it, his reaction, the other French guy said it, it made me laugh, I will admit. And it's sad, that's the one laugh I got out of the movie. The one laugh. There's a bit with John Candy driving backwards from cops while he's playing movie trivia with Donna Dixon, and the answer is Sally Field. Of course, Sally Field, who has worked with Burt Reynolds in the past. Of course, all the guys get to the finish line. Peter Boyle, his police chief, goes a little crazy. It even takes one of the cars to enter the race himself, and he seems out of it. And this is after the plane that's being driven crashes to a bunch of cop cars. Peter Boyle wins, but he's in Matt Frewer's car, so technically Matt Frewer wins, so he doesn't have to get killed. John Candy, Eugene Levy's a dick. Eugene Levy disappears after the beginning of the film. He comes back at the end of the film for John Candy to punch him out, and then him and John Candy down and Dixon go off into the distance, and then the end credits are the cast having fun playing bumper cars with each other. Again, it was mildly watching it as a curiosity piece. Oh, John Candy and some, I don't mind Matt Frewer. I don't mind Tim Matheson. I don't mind, I liked John Candy and never seen Cannonball Run 3. I've seen the first two, and if you thought Cannonball Run 2 was bad, it's a lot better than this one. It's just, I know I'm repeating myself. I better end it here. It's fairly forgettable. It didn't have the big stunt work of the first two. It didn't have that energy. It didn't even have that great song, Cannonball, Cannonball. The soundtrack, the songs in this one are pretty lame and forgettable. The movie at best is a mediocre film. Maybe if it's a rainy night and you can watch on YouTube, it's still up there as a time waster, but would I ever watch the film again? Honestly, no. I mean, John Candy is wasted in a nothing role. It really is a nothing role. And yeah, it needed a guy like Hal Needham or someone else to give a bit of energy and flair and a lot more stunt work, maybe a bigger budget. It needed a different director. It needed John Candy to be given a lot more to do, not just car-wise, but comedy-wise, dialogue-wise. And some of those characters I mentioned, like Melody Anderson and the Belafonte, they weren't interesting. I don't mind Melody Anderson from Flash Gordon Firewalker, but her character wasn't interesting at all. Donna Dixon was annoying and sucked. The Lamborghini guys, they were a pile of nothing. Can't remember a damn thing about them. So they didn't even need to be in the flick, or at least have some actors I recognize that could get some charm or some chemistry. It's a forgettable meh flick. Yeah, it's actually kind of disappointing considering some of the people involved. Like, oh, John Candy in the Cannonball Run 3. It's pretty lame, to be perfectly honest. So, thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for a review of a much better John Candy film, Uncle Buck. See you later.